Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a pick. A few weeks ago I went to a machine shop and I bought a lot of their surplus out of spec tooling and just old stuff that they don't use anymore. And while I was there, I was approached by one of the employees and he said, "Hey, you the guy who buys tools?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Hey, I got a bunch of stuff at my house." So we made arrangements and I met with him at his home and he sold me this toolbox and a whole lot of tools to go with it. Basically he had it all laid out on a table and I made him an offer on the whole shebang and he took it. And then we came to a deal on this box, which I actually initially told him I felt I wasn't going to be able to pay him much for because I can't sell boxes as easily. Anywho, wanted to show you guys this box, and the reason why I'm outside here today is because this box is actually sold. It's about to be picked up, so I needed to get this video done. And then we'll head down to the workshop and we'll go through those tools. Alright, so now I'm down here in the shop and I'm going to show you all the stuff that I bought with that toolbox. When I got to this gentleman's house, he had everything laid out on tables, and we ended up just cutting a deal on the whole package, the whole shebang, which meant that I took all of these micrometers he had laying there. And there are some real doozies here. I am getting to the point where I'm starting to try and think of alternative uses for these old beat up calipers. I mean, this is a Starrett, don't get me wrong, but it's a very beat old Starrett, and I'll be hard pressed to get $5 for this. Alright, so got some beat to bejesus Starretts here. This one's a little bit more promising. Well, that must be an early one with that recessed matte black, almost like Japanning, and yet the thimble looks much newer. And the lock works. That's actually still a serviceable old Starrett. I'll tell you, that frame's heavy. Another early one, but it's got a good ratchet on it. Here's one a little bit better. It's a Brown and Sharpe, carbide faces on it. That looks like another Brown and Sharpe. This is a weird one. This is a, it says made in the USA. Oh no, wait a minute, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Well, that's a sheer Tomiko. This probably was all black that got washed off or something. This is what the sheer Tomikos usually look like. Another beat old Starrett. Or is it a Starrett? No, that's a JT Slocum, Providence, Rhode Island. Actually, I said this was a sheer Tomiko, but this might be a Reed from Worcester, Mass. Yeah, that's a Reed Small Tool Works right there. So isn't that one? I've actually got a guy who collects those because they're from Worcester, Mass. This is the nicest micrometer he had in the bunch. It's this nice Starrett, very clean, good serviceable micrometer ready to go. This is the one that caught my eye as weird. This one is Omega, marked made in the USA. I never heard of that one though. Very cheesy mic. Then we got these two interesting slices I have in here. I've never seen one like this. This is kind of a really cool detail on this thing. There's several things that are neat about this thing. It's got this really cupped, stylized frame that has all of the decimal equivalents in it. But the way that they're written is kind of neat. But look at this thing. It's got a little V-block anvil. Right? So that's a Reed Small Tool Works Worcester, Mass micrometer, but that's unique enough. I may want to do a little research on that. I don't know. And a disc micrometer, Brown and Sharpe. These are okay. Don't bring as much as they used to. I think only because so many of the guys I sell to already have them. They probably just buy them and put them in their box. The lock's broken on that one. That'll be a cheap one. Next pile of stuff. See, this looks like an early Lufkin radius gauge set, maybe. Oh no, actually, oh, small snap gauge, hole gauges. Lufkin. All right, it's okay. Worth more than if it was a radius gauge set. I know that. Couple of these little itty bitty Federal indicators. That one's on some kind of an adapter block. This one's just got a big old ground foot on it. Actually works pretty good. Well, that's got an unusual post back on it. Some more snap gauges. Lufkin. Oh, that's a Starrett 229. And another Lufkin. Speaking of things I don't really want anymore, but they were in the deal anyway, so might as well take them. Here's a outside caliper. I don't see a maker's name on this one. There's a stamp S on it. Not that I care. Here's another one. Oh, this one's a Union tool. And this one was hastily stamped at the factory, so I can't quite make out what it says for the company name. And then below it says Great Neck. And a big old Starrett caliper. Not the largest pair I own, but big enough. And this is another one here. Fixed joint. What do they call this? I forget. Well, that's a perfect match for that other Starrett. There it is, yeah, right there. All right, so that's actually a set, sort of. It's a nice miniature center head Starrett. Wish I had the blade for it, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Here's a Lone Wolf Brown and Sharpe depth mic, which I don't think there was anything else to go with this. Ratchet's a little iffy on that one. Not that it matters because I don't have any rods except for the one that's in there. A couple of random scales, and that's a Craftsman. That one's a Sears Craftsman, and this is a Fowler. Here's some indicators. Nothing to get too excited about, but I did kind of like. I like the fact that this Federal is a couple of things. First off, it's metric. And second of all, it's a back button style indicator, which I don't have as many of these. It's actually in really good shape. This is an interesting one because I'm not familiar with this name. This is a Nilco, and this is a tenths indicator. It's actually 0.0001, and it's broken. I'm pretty sure I knew that when I looked at it. I'm sure I noticed that. I think I didn't really care because, again, it was just being included. This one might be worth looking into just for the heck of it. It's actually marked on the back, the Nielsen Gauge Company of Poughkeepsie, New York, Nilco. It's got a patent number on it. Probably wouldn't give away the age. Just looks really early. It's going to be one of those ones that if I get it working, it's probably going to go in Steve's collection of indicators that no one else finds interesting other than Steve. Speaking of which, had a lot of Starrett last words come through my hands, and I've never ever seen one like this. The way the body is made, the body is almost, Federal Testmaster like in shape. And it's got this side mount. And lo and behold, he had this Starrett 657. Okay. But it's the 657 with this style post on it, which I've had one of these before. And never realized that this particular Starrett 657 was specifically made for this last word indicator to go on it. This style. So it's missing the little thumb screw there. I probably could scare one of those up in my scrap indicator parts pile. And this actually is still working. So I might have to sell that as a set complete just to keep it together. I don't know. something kind of nice. This is a Fowler, large Fowler dial caliper, but it is branded. It's branded Fowler, but it's actually a Helios. Does it repeat? It does. So that could be a little work that could be reclocked to 0. But anyways, it'll be a nice mid-range quality dial caliper. It's made in Germany because it's a Helios, so it's actually maybe even a little bit above mid-range. It's certainly better than that aerospace stuff that I usually see in that size caliper. Speaking of quality calipers, oldies but goodies. This is an early 599-578-1 Brown and Sharpe. These are nice and smooth. These are really, really nice set of calipers. In the old wooden case, original Brown and Sharpe wooden case. And then this is Mitutoyo. Well, what's in here is actually, alright, so this is funny. This is a Lufkin vernier that's in here. Now, this Lufkin vernier actually over here says Switzerland. So this might actually be a much better quality vernier than you might think. Could easily be Tessa or Etalon. I'm going to keep that case off to the side. Oh, here we go. This is a, well, the box may or may not be for this. I don't know. But what is in here? Wow, this is a multi-anvil micrometer. But it's got the stepped anvil in there now. And then it's got the rod anvil, the 220 rod anvil, still in the envelope. And the wrench. So I would say that, yeah, this is probably the right box for this. I know that little manual in there, how to use a micrometer, it has but that's just a common manual that you find in like every single version of these. This is actually in pretty nice shape. Maybe I'll keep this one. What do we have in here? Nice case. A Starrett depth dial indicator. So we've got 1, 2, 3 different size rods to go on this thing. So this is a number 644, and it's in perfect working order. This is one of the nicest items out of this kit or out of this buy. Might keep that one, haven't decided yet. I've got a Brown and Sharpe one I was thinking of keeping, but alright, already looked at those. Alright, next up, oh, nice Starrett depth micrometer. Other than being engraved, it looks like it's in excellent shape. And we got 3 rods in there, so that's a 0 to 3 with the wrench. Okay, this is just a cardboard box for a tie or something, but what's in here? Another one of these Starrett 1, 2, 3 master bar verniers. Oh, nice. I think I just got one of these not too long ago. That one I don't have a case for. Maybe I should keep it. Might have to keep those. I don't know. This is, here we go. Okay, so this is Mitutoyo dial calipers that actually work perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with them, so we're going to put those in this case. Don't know what the heck this is. It's a C27976E. So I could look it up, but somebody basically stole this off of something and modified it. Screwed it to something. I don't know what. But it was just laying there. He didn't want it, so took it for a straight edge. Nice Starrett case, right? Womp womp womp. Ugly, beat to heck. Starrett micrometer. Wonder if one of those a little bit nicer ones would fit in here instead. Oh, we'll take a look at that. later. Another Mitutoyo dial caliper, only this one is very clean. This looks brand new, and this is a an 8-inch. It's like brand new, great shape. So that's another one of the better items out of this haul. And this is another one of these Mitutoyo indicating micrometers, which I just recently tuned up quite a few of these that needed some work. This one, on the other hand, actually, see, it hangs a little bit. What's actually happening with this one is the needle is hanging on that red pointer right there. So if I adjust these out of the way, probably will work just fine. Yeah, see? So it's hanging on that needle. I could actually open this up and fix that fairly easily. Just got to bend that red pointer back towards the glass a little bit further. That looks like a, that doesn't look like the right case at all for this. 293/712. That is not the right case for that. That brings us to our last 4 items. Brown and Sharpe box with, oh, a nice inside micrometer inside of this box. That's what this is. This is a Brown and Sharpe number 250 groove micrometer, or inside micrometer. Really nice and clean. Inside micrometer, that's the actual paper. Wow, that's in really great shape for the age. You can tell from the paperwork in the box. I almost thought that was a newer micrometer somebody stuck in there. But now I can see that that's just in fantastic shape. Well cared for tools. Alright, we got the foam cancer going on here. I think this is a really early Mitutoyo. What happens with the Mitutoyos, a lot of them are the little plastic heat guard there. Thermal insulator, as they call it, is where the name would have been. Maybe not. See, that just says 0 to 1.001. That's like classic textbook Polish import type of way to call them. Oh, look at that. It says Poland right there. Man, did I call it or what? I honestly didn't see that before I said that. Fowler, 0 to 1, carbide faces. Carbide faces, 0 to 1. Fowler, nothing wrong with that. Nice little micrometer. And the final item in this haul. Look at that little sucker. Now, I just recently, I don't even remember where I got it, but found one of these in a box, in a buy that I got. Didn't even know it was in there when I was buying it. And tell you, I offered this up for sale, and I was surprised how quickly it got snapped up. And what this is this is a Brown and Sharpe 263 inside micrometer. And originally it was part of a set. It came with, I think, a handle that attached to this, and this extra anvil or rod. So this one's even better than the last one because it's got this extra part. That's all I had on the first one that I sold. And now this one's in better shape with 2 pieces. Alright, so that's going to bring this episode of Flea Market Finds to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please hit the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.